brings 27 years of coaching experience to the Bay, including stints with 5 different NFL organizations.
That 49ers defense he's taken over for, they ranked first in both points and yards allowed in the season. So it is a great spot.
Until you got a chance to win.
Right.
These places he's been now, Arizona was a project, and Carolina was obviously in turmoil. Now you got a chance to be on display. And I think Steve Wilks is going to thrive in this. He's a well-respected coach throughout the coaching circles. Everybody loves his defensive acumen. You couple that with Kyle, I don't think this team is going to miss a beat.
Steve Wilks is ruining the San Francisco 49ers defense. Let's talk about it. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Ryan Tigey, back live in action in front of a camera and a microphone. That intro that you saw, Steve Wilks has been highly regarded. Coming into the 49ers, taking over, obviously, a great situation. The situation most coaches legit would kill to have, because the past 2 defensive coordinators have now gone on to be head coaches. It is literally an invitation to the top of the stairs to be first in line for head coaching gigs. Since he has taken over, the 49ers defense has gone to absolute shit. One of those performances, as of most recently, being the Monday Night Football game against the Minnesota Vikings. Primetime game, one of the worst, if not the worst, defensive game I've ever witnessed in the Niners era of being a dominant team. Let's hear what people are saying now following that game.
Thing to worry about if you're the 49ers. Steve Wilks, college head coach for a year, losing record. NFL head coach for a year, disaster, was fired. Then went to Carolina interim. But Steve Wilks bounced around college and pro coaching forever, a lot of jobs, a lot of cities, was not a rising star. I think they're just not as good in the red zone defensively as they have been in previous years. And I think that's a coaching. I mean, Kirk Cousins in that offense, 452 yards with an average O-line. No Justin Jefferson. They moved off Dalvin Cook, and they passed for almost 380 yards, 6.8 yards a play, 24 first downs, 8 for 13 on third down. You know, you lose D'Amico Ryans, they've lost their edge. The Niners are not as good situationally coaching on defense.
We all saw this play, this 60-yard touchdown. Jordan Addison, rookie, made a big play. Situation. Now, second quarter, 16 seconds left in the half. Third down, no timeouts for the offense. So no timeout for the offense. So even if they get this ball and they catch it in bounds, they got it. The time as a long-time special teamer, a certain cutoff where they can make a completion, spike it. So you would have to get a 20-yard completion, get the entire offense up there, snap it, spike it, kick a field goal. Pretty much not going to happen. So I don't understand this play call at all defensively. Now, you do have one more than they had to block if they do get home, but you'll see it from the back copy, especially. Fred Warner drops out to low help, which once again, as a defender, DB, I'd rather you blitz. This is not helping me down here. I don't care about this completion. Same here. It's guys that are just standing around not blitzing. That leaves Ward out there on the island one-on-one. And with the pressure in his face, Kirk doesn't make the best throw. Receiver bails him out, rips the ball from Ward. But I don't understand this play call at all. I think terrible play call. I think bad execution. And this kind of ended up being, obviously it was a close game. This is a backbreaker. Right before the half, this is an absolute backbreaker. And in there to protect, I believe. So if you send 8, you have, one more than they have. But I mean, I just don't understand that play call at all in this situation.
So what the fuck happened? When you look at it, a lot of this has already been said, but I got to reiterate it just because it's something that was so absurd. We primarily have the same guys, the same scheme. You got to remember, that was a caveat of Steve Wilks coming to join the 49ers. Again, once in a lifetime opportunity to coach all pros, pro bowlers, all over that side of the ball. And when he came into this role, he had to learn our defensive scheme. Shanahan made it abundantly clear. We've been successful in this scheme. All these same players, for the most part, are still here. We're not changing it. So if you want this job, you got to come and adopt our scheme, which he said he would do. He played a different scheme, but my God, for somebody who's been in the league for 30 plus years, you would think it would be a little less bumpy because it hasn't just been one performance. for the first time in the Shanahan era, I would say the offense has been better than the defense. And I think that's not even that questionable, when historically the defense has always been better than the offense. So what are the main points here? One of them being we couldn't get off third down. That was an atrocious showing of 8 of 13 on third down. Minnesota was at a 61% conversion rate. And I understand that people are saying Kirk Cousins played one of his best games. The defense gave up 452 yards in total offense. 452. And the funny part is, Wilks, his background comes from working with the DBs. So let's focus in a little on the DBs. Hey, you're learning our new scheme. That's all fine and good. How are the DBs been performing? Well, they've been horrible. Outside of Mooney Ward, they have not been good. And Mooney Ward did not play a game. They were consciously targeting Mooney Ward that entire game. And you have to remember, he's going against Addison, who was a rookie. They gave up 378 yards passing. Absolutely horrific. And then, of course, been talked about, but one of the worst, absolute disgusting play calls I've ever witnessed.
I think assignment was blown on the touchdown, called an all-out blitz, and he's got to get rid of it right away, and he threw it up and got a chance for a pick, didn't come through with it, and they got a touchdown. It's a real bad play by us.
Are you okay with that blitz call in that moment?
That's stuff we'll discuss throughout this week. Obviously, I did not like the result.
End of the half, 16 seconds left. What does Wilks do? He does a zero blitz. Of course, the players, they're saying it's our job to execute, which is true, but they're running the plays the defensive coordinator is calling. And I'm not even going to put this on Kyle. Here, Kyle should take some blame. Yes, he's the head coach, but he's also the offensive coordinator. One reason we've been so successful on defense is because he gives them anonymity. He expects a defensive coordinator with fucking loaded players to be able and just keep them on track, keep them in line of where they were. But what is he doing? I put it like this. If you guys ever had a new boss come into work and your team has been performing well or doing the job of what needs to get done, but then when the new boss comes in, they got to put their stamp on it. They got to show their worth of saying, I'm going to come in, I'm going to make you guys perform 2x what you've been doing. Sometimes it can be outside factors where it's like that legitimately won't make any difference. That is what Steve Wilks has been doing. He has been coming in to the stacked roster. And so what is he trying to do? He's trying to make his mark. He's trying to put his stamp on it, his twist on it, and it has backfired horrifically. He's ruined the D by trying to put his own flair on it, and it ain't working. So it's got to get fixed, and it's got to get fixed now. This has to be the year the Niners go deep into the playoffs and minimum get to the Super Bowl. And with the shit he's calling, it ain't going good. Let's hear what Nick Bosa had to say following the Minnesota Vikings game.
It definitely works out. Sometimes I'm not used to it. We're usually a rush 4 kind of team, and it's a little different this year. But yeah, I don't know.
So that was something else interesting that I took away from it. And I had noticed throughout the games, another version of him trying to put a flair onto it. We always rush with 4 defensive linemen. Always. We've always had success doing so. Now he has been putting 5 guys consistently on the D line, and it is not working because what is happening? Bosa is getting all the attention. The opposing offense has a different play sheet when Bosa is off the field. Everyone knows Bosa is a game wrecker. He's dominant. But when Bosa is getting doubled, triple teamed, and you have a rushing 5 guys, that means 4 other guys should be fucking able to win their one-on-ones. The defensive line, with how much money's been invested, how much draft capital's been invested, it's purely not good enough. And it's a fucking joke that I would be willing to bet, I haven't checked on this, that we're probably one of the worst in the league in terms of just team stats. And you can chalk up 3 of those sacks in the Pittsburgh game, first game of the year by Drake Jackson, who has gone MIA since that point. And it's literally not good enough. And I understand also as well regarding Bosa that he gets double team, triple team, chips. They're always throwing another body at him. With how much money he's making, and he's kind of taking ownership for it, he's got to get to the quarterback. Dude, you are the highest paid player in the entire NFL of all defense. Point being, everyone knows how compensated he is. He was the one that held out in training camp, which you would think would just have an early effect, not going into week 6. week 7. It's just not good enough. He's got to do better. He will do better. But regarding the rest of the D-line, I'm worried about it. You see what the Eagles are doing, how their defensive line is fucking dominant. They are rolling opposing offensive linemen. And our defensive line, it's fucking nuts. It's literally insane. All right, y'all. See you next time around. Like, subscribe, hit me up. Peace.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. I've been on the flex since flex on. Neighborhood all in your eardrums.